Hello, word nerds. Hello, word nerds. This is The Dictionary. It's a podcast called The Dictionary. It's on the audio places, which, by the way, at the time of recording, Apple Podcasts has limited my episodes to 1,999, and I thought that was a hosting problem, so I switched hosting platforms, and I have a new one that has unlimited episodes. But Apple is still having trouble. What is going on, Apple? Their engineers are looking into it. But hey, Spotify and probably other places, they're doing just fine. They got no problems. My name is Spencer, by the way. Hello, how are you doing? I hope you are doing very, very well. During winter in the northern hemisphere, oh, it is so cold. What does the temperature say? It says it's 8 right now. 8 Fahrenheit. All right. Oh, this is the episode that is mostly just chock full of stuff relating to your intestines, your stomach, your digestive tract, your all that good stuff. So let's get into that, those. The first word in this episode is gastric. Gastric. It's an adjective from 1656. It is of or relating to the stomach. Let's see. This is from the Greek graster, from gran, which means to gnaw or eat. And when you gnaw or eat things, where do they go? They go in the stomach. Well, first they go into the mouth, and then the throat, the esophagus, and then the stomach, and then that's doing a whole bunch of work. It's like a little room. It's like an acid room for your food, and then it progresses down your intestines. So it's just ever relating to the stomach. Anything that's stomach related is gastric. So the sound effect today that I shall make, I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit of a borborygmus sound. That's the word that I learned when I was doing the bees, and I think that's the proper pronunciation. Borborygmus, or is it it's something. Let's see if I can find it. I feel like I have it wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Borborygmus, here it is. Intestinal rumbling caused by moving gas. I had the word right. So I don't know, we can go a little like just like the bubbles bubbling. Next, we have gastric bypass, noun from 1972. They were doing this all the way back then? Gastric bypass? You know what? I think I'm thinking of something else. So yeah, that makes sense. It is a surgical bypass operation that involves reducing the size of the stomach and reconnecting the smaller stomach to bypass the first portion of the small intestine so as to restrict food intake and reduce caloric absorption in cases of severe obesity. Okay, so yes, this is actually what I was thinking of, and I did not realize that we started this in 1972. Is the idea is it that when somebody is severely obese that their stomach is so large that they need, it has nothing to do with their size or the amount of fat or muscle on them. Is it maybe because they have eaten so much food that their stomach has been stretched out, and so they're like, we got to shrink this down? Or is it just that their stomach is a normal size, and to force them to eat less food, to then lose the weight, to bring in less calories, to burn more calories, that they're like, well, you know what? How about we just make the stomach smaller? What if we did that? They're gonna eat less food because they're gonna get full quicker. But I feel like okay. I'm not an expert on this, of course, and feel free to tell me how wrong I am. But I feel like there's often more going on than just the amount of calories, the feeling of hunger. I don't know. I think it's way more complicated than that. And has there been success? Yes, of course. People have lost a lot of weight and I think are very happy after going through this surgery. But I think that this is a not a last resort necessarily, but I think there's a lot of things that you can try before getting into this type of surgery. Um, but it's hard. I get it. We have very complicated relationships with food, 100%. I don't know what my relationship is like with food. Sometimes I feel full and my belly's big, and sometimes I feel hungry and I can't tell. I don't know. Food is weird. Stomach's weird. It's all complicated, and nobody is normal, and so everybody's normal. Whatever your weird thing is, you're normal. You're fine. You're great. And do you want to get gastric bypass surgery? If that's what you and your doctor decide, then go for it. And I hope you get what you need. Losing a bunch of weight and getting healthier, that's pretty good. Next, we have gastric gland. Noun from 1836. Any of various glands in the walls of the stomach that secrete gastric juice. Would you like some orange juice? No, no, no. I would like some gastric juice, please. Gastric juice tastes so acidy. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's what's going on, is that there are glands all in the walls of the stomach. And when the stomach is like, oh, hey, look at that, there's food, the glands are like, yay, here's some juices that I've been storing up just for this occasion. Gastric glands. Well, hey, that means we now got to go on to gastric juice. Noun from circa 1736. It is a thin, watery acid digestive fluid secreted by glands in the mucous membrane of the stomach. The gastric glands are making gastric juice. The gastric glands are making gastric juice. Gastric juice, drink a glass every day and you'll feel weird. Next is gastric ulcer. Noun from 1877. It is a peptic ulcer situated in the stomach. I've always been very confused by these things. What exactly are they? What is happening? How does this happen? I think there's many possible reasons, causes of ulcers. Specifically, these are ulcers in the stomach because they're gastric ulcers. But yeah, they don't seem good. I don't ever want to get ulcers. They just sound bad. And then the word just sounds like, Gastrin is next, noun from 1905. Any of various polypeptide hormones that are secreted by the gastric mucosa and induce secretion of gastric juice. So these are the things, these are the hormones that they're sent. So like when the food gets in, then I guess the gastric mucosa, this is the mucus that's lining the stomach. The mucosa is the first thing that's like, hey, there's food. What are we going to do about it? And then they send this hormone, they send this gastrin probably pretty quickly to the gastric, to the stomach and to the gastric glands. And then the gastric glands are like, okay, hey, we got this hormone. It's time. It's time, everybody. The time that we've been waiting for is here. Let's now squirt the juices. Next is gastritis. You know the end of this word. You know the suffix. You know what it means. It's not good. Noun from 1806. It is inflammation, especially of the mucous membrane of the stomach. So this is not necessarily an inflammation of the stomach itself. I'm sure the stomach gets inflamed, but it's the mucus membrane on the inside of the stomach that's getting inflamed. How does that happen? What? I mean, let's just look it up. We can't look it up in the dictionary. We got to look it up on the internet. The internet sometimes has good things. What causes gastritis? Yes, that's what we want to know. I'm sure now Google thinks I have gastritis or thinks that I think I have gastritis. primarily caused by a Helicobacter pylori infection, the overuse of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, like ibuprofen, and excessive alcohol consumption. Those are three of the, I guess, most common causes of gastritis. Other causes include autoimmune disorders, bile reflux, and physical stress from severe illness, injury, or surgery. Yep. Okay. So those are some things that if you got those going on, not all of them are controllable. But if you got any of those going on, then maybe you might have the gastritis or get it, and you can say, "Hey, maybe I'm going to stop drinking so much, or stop." What were the other things? Stop bringing in this Helicobacter pylori into my body, or stop having so many NSAIDs, or other things, because oh, there's more. Cocaine use, other infections, smoking, eating spicy, fatty, or acidic foods may not cause gastritis, but can make symptoms worse. Maybe when you have gastritis, your stomach is like. Okay, next we have gastric. Is it gastrocnemius? That's what it is, or just gastrocnemius. Now this one is spelled Gastroc, OC, and all these previous words were gastric with an IC. So gastrocnemius is a noun from 1676. It is the largest and most superficial muscle of the calf of the leg, arising by two heads from the condyles of the femur and attaching to a tendon that becomes part of the Achilles tendon. Okay, so this is a muscle. So this is probably not related to the stomach because it has a slightly different prefix, although a lot of these words are using the gastro prefix, which is related to the stomach. But okay, so I just want to break this down. The largest and most superficial muscle of the calf. Well, my chiropractor was just telling me about this muscle. I wouldn't have been able to retell you the name, but my calf has been very tight from my fall back in August in my timeline. And he said there's two muscles, and this is one of them. So he must have said gastrocnemius. It's arising from two heads from the condyles. I'm touching my calf at the same time. So it attaches at the bottom of the femur, right kind of where your knee is, and then it goes down all the way down to your Achilles tendon, which is by your heel and your ankle. And so that is a large muscle in your calf. And right now mine is like, I'm just going to be tight. I'm going to be tight, and you can't do anything about it, but other than stretching and massage maybe. But it's going to take a lot of work. I'm a tight muscle. I'm a tight gastrocnemius. Okay, so this word is from the Greek gastrocnemy. That it means calf of the leg. That is from the gaster prefix plus knemi. I'm just assuming they say the case. That means shank. Oh, the gaster, G-A-S-T-R prefix means... Now, wait, hold on. I think that does mean, gnaw or eat. Oh, okay, this is interesting because the first word in this episode, gastric, also had the same etymology, the same gaster Greek word, which means to gnaw or eat. And then knemi is shank, it's like a leg of an animal, pretty much. And so was the idea that like, hey, this is the thing that we're eating and we're eating this, and that's the similar part on the human is this same part that we're eating right now? We're gnawing on it. We're eating it. Okay, interesting. And the same word then was evolved in a different way to be the stomach, because when you eat those things, then they go into the stomach. So it is kind of related to the stomach. Fascinating. Okay, let's move on to gastroduodenal. 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 Adjective, Let's see, is there another way to say it? Duodenal. You could say it that way, gastroduodenal. Adjective from 1854. Of, relating to, or involving the stomach and the duodenum or the duodenum. And I feel like I always have to remind myself, oh, there's a little bit of that lung cough thing coming through. Duodenum or duodenum. I don't know what the proper way to say it is. Yes, it's the first part of the small intestine, immediately beyond the stomach, and that's a way that you remember, because it's gastroduodenal, and we had the gastro prefix, which is gastric and whatever the second part of the word is, and things that are gastroduodenal. You can remember because the duodenum is right next to the stomach. Your stomach is like over here, and then so the duodenum is right down over there. You can't see my hands in the video, but that's okay. And if you're just listening, you can't see anything. So yes, it's immediately after the stomach is the duodenum. So sometimes things happen to them that are related to each other. And those things would be gastroduodenal. Next is gastroenteritis. Gastroenteritis. This is a noun from circa 1829. Inflammation of the lining membrane of the stomach and the intestines, characterized especially by nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps. Oh, my favorite things. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps. No, we need more. We need to change that didn't work in terms of measures and syllables in my head. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps. That's what's gonna happen when you're old. Nah, not necessarily. Just when you have gastroenteritis, it's the inflammation of the stomach and the intestines, and those are the things that you're gonna get. What are they again? They're nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps. Gastroenterology. Noun from circa 1904. A branch of medicine concerned with the structure, functions, diseases, and pathology of the stomach and intestines. So, I guess enterology, the ENTER part of gastroenteritis is related to the intestines. And I do vaguely remember reading one of those words. I mean, let's just go to ENTER, enter. There must be, any of those. Yeah, we got a bunch of them here. Let's see. Okay, we're going backwards to enteric. Let's see. Enter. Here we go. We found it. Enter or entero means intestine. It's from the Greek enteron, which I don't remember what that means, but yes, there's a whole bunch of these intestine words that start with entero. Entero sounds like a superhero made out of intestines? Sure. All right, now we got to move on to, gastroenterology. So oh boy, how many syllables is this? Gastroenterological. Enterological, yeah, that is an adjective. And gastroenterologist is a noun. They are the person who is studying the structure, functions, diseases, and pathology of the stomach and intestines. And sometimes they might be like, are your symptoms nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps? I'm a gastroenterologist. Next is gastroesophageal. Esophageal, that's the proper way to pronounce this. I'll quickly spell it. Gastro plus ESOPH. AGEAL. Gastroesophageal, adjective from circa 1889. And of course, many of you are probably already thinking, well, I know exactly what this is. You are smart. It is of, relating to, or involving the stomach and esophagus. Isn't that just the tube that goes from your throat to your stomach? It's probably anywhere from 8 to 12 inches. I believe I probably said something very similar when we came across esophagus in the E's. But yeah, this is the tube that is sending your food down. You got to get it down to the stomach. You can't have your stomach way up here. You got your heart and your lungs up here. So you just need a little tube to say, okay, we're going goodbye, lungs and heart. It was nice knowing you. I'm going to the stomach to be digested by gastric juices. And I wanted to say that, of course, you may know that I think the top and the bottom of the esophagus has this muscle. It's a sphincter muscle that it squeezes. It keeps things tight, so it's very difficult for food to come back up from the stomach up back into the esophagus. But sometimes it happens, and that leads us to our next word. The food is like, I'm coming up. Gastroesophageal reflux. Reflux? Noun from 1966. Boy, people were having that for many years before 1966. And then they were like, I guess we can come up with a word for this. Although, I wonder, because we were eating so differently many years ago and just different types of lives, I wonder if gastroesophageal reflux wasn't as common in yesteryears, all of those yesteryears. So this is backward flow of the contents of the stomach into the esophagus due to malfunctioning of a sphincter at the lower end of the esophagus. That's just what I was talking about. And resulting especially in heartburn. I don't know. I feel like there's more to it than just malfunctioning of that muscle. I feel like there's got to be a reason why. I mean, when you throw up, there's something going on in the stomach and the intestine or whatever, and it's like, I got to get this out. And so your body's like, okay, here it comes. The muscle, I don't think, is malfunctioning. Hey, gastro doctors, let me know. I think it's like, no, we're going to let this happen. We got to get this out of here for whatever reason. But yeah, so sometimes it's just like you burp and it's like, that didn't taste good at all. I feel like I need lots of water and maybe brush my teeth and that was gross. Luckily, it doesn't happen to me very often. I think that between your lifestyle and your eating choices, you might get more of it. And there's probably other reasons too. Moving on to gastrointestinal. This is an adjective from 1831 of relating to, affecting, or including both stomach and intestine. Now, how is this different? Then, well, see, technically we don't have a similar word. We have gastroenteritis, which is the inflammation of the stomach and the intestines, and we have gastroenterology, which is studying the stomach and the intestines. But then we have gastrointestinal. So why don't we have instead gastroenteral? Isn't there, to keep things consistent with the words that we have chosen to use? But no, I guess we're just like, yeah, let's make it a little bit clearer for us lay people who aren't doctors. Gastrointestinal. Oh yeah, stomach and intestines. I got it. Next is gastrolith. Gastro plus L-I-T-H. Noun from 1854. It is a stone or pebble ingested by an animal and functioning to grind food in gastric digestion. Yes, I have heard of this. That sometimes animals will eat a little pebble, stone, rock, something to help, I guess, grind the food that they've eaten that's in their stomach. It's like a mortar and pestle kind of situation. This is fascinating. How did these animals figure out that they should do this? What? I can't even imagine how they figured this out and what animals are doing this. Let's see. Let's look up. What animals eat a gastrolith? By the way, great name. This is a word that, I think more people should be aware of. Oh, so interesting. When I look this up, gastrolith is a type of animals that do this. Animals that eat. Oh, no, wait. I think I did read that wrong. Yes. Okay. Scratch that. Animals that eat gastroliths include living vertebrates like crocodiles, alligators, seals, sea lions, and many birds such as chickens, ostriches, and penguins, as well as extinct animals like sauropod dinosaurs and plesiosaurs. Or maybe that's plesiosaurs. These animals swallow stones to help grind food in their gizzards or stomachs, or in the case of aquatic animals, to act as ballast. So I guess my other question is, do they go through their intestinal system? Do they poop them out? That's what I want to know. Do they poop them out? Even tadpoles? Tadpoles have been observed ingesting silt and gravel to help with buoyancy control. Boy, they just know. They just understand. Generations upon generations of doing things, testing things, learning things, and they're like, yeah, this works. Tortoises, toothed whales. Wow. Okay. I mean, I was sort of aware of this, but didn't realize it was so prevalent. So prevalent in the animal kingdom. Should I start eating stones? No. And you shouldn't either. Please don't do that. Although, this reminds me, I had a book when I was a child. I'm maybe told this story. It was about a young brontosaurus. This was back in the days when brontosaurus was a thing. Is it a thing again? Anyway, it was a young brontosaurus, and it ate a rock. And the story completely ignored all scientific fact. And the rock went into the tail of the dinosaur, and it just had a little bulbous rock in the back of its tail. And there's no way, unless there's a hole in the digestive tract, there's no way that the rock is getting into the tail. And even then, probably not. Ooh, you know what? I want to look up a picture. Let's see. Kids book dinosaur rock in tail. You know what? Google searches are fun. Was it this one? No, not a rock-like tail. That's not what I want. No, that's not it. A tail, a rock in the tail, and 8 rock in the tail. We're not going to find it at all. No, I'm sure it's very old. It's very old. Let's skip that. Let's move on to gastronome. This is a noun from 1823. It is a lover of good food. Not me. I'm not a gastronome. I don't love good food. I love bad food? No, it's all good food to me. But especially one with a serious interest in gastronomy. We'll get to that shortly. More in synonym information, go see the word epicure. So let's see. It's French, back formation of gastronomie. Gastronomie. If you like good food. If you like good food, specifically good food, if you love that, then maybe you're a gastronome. But if you're just like, good food's okay, I don't care, I like the regular food, then you can't be a gastronome. No, it's not for you. That lifestyle is not for you. But let's move on to gastronomist, noun from 1825. The synonym is gastronome. Okay, now you arty people, I would like you to see you draw a picture of a gnome, a GNOME. That's just like sitting down to a good fancy meal. They love good food, this gastronome. If that's not a thing, it should be a thing. Why did we go from gastronomist to gastronome? Gastronome is actually 2 years earlier than gastronomist. But which one are we using more? Only 2 years apart. Gastronomy, noun from 1814. This is number 1, the art or science of good eating. Excuse me, I'm just going to do some scientific experiments with good eating. And I'm also going to make an art form out of it. I mean, we see from, shows like The Bear and many other, obviously, chefs who have been doing this for a very long time. It is an art form. Cooking, baking, similar but different. Just the creation of the food and then how it's plated and everything. That is gastronomy. They make it look good, and it better taste good. Because if it doesn't taste good, I don't want that crap. I'm also not paying for that crap in general because I'm cheap and don't have that much money. Yeah, the art and science of good eating. And I'm less interested in the visual nature of it. I want it to be good and taste good. You don't want it to look like dog food necessarily. But it's like, okay, you've taken it to another level in this fancy art and science of good eating. But it's very pretty. It's very pretty. Number 2, culinary customs or style. That is also gastronomy. Gastronomic or gastronomical is an adjective, and gastronomically, that is an adverb. Living your life, gastronomically, just the art and science of good eating. This is from French gastronomie, from Greek gastronomia with a capital G, which was a title of a 4th century BC poem. What? Okay. We gotta look it up. How do you spell it? Gastronomia. So that is where this all comes from. A 4th century BC poem. So was that 6,000 years ago? Greek. It's got to be a Greek poem. I feel like the internet does not know what I'm talking about. Ooh, maybe it's this. Let's see. The most famous Greek gastronomic poem. Here we go. It's Well, see, this is a different title. It seemed like the title was Gastronomia, so I'm a little bit confused. This one is Hedipathia, which is pleasant living, by the 4th century BCE poet Archestratus, considered the father of gastronomy. This humorous didactic poem in hexameter verse is a proto-cookbook that guides readers on where to find the best food and how to prepare it, focusing heavily on fish. Although only fragments survive, it has been influential, with later poets like Ennius adapting it into Latin. Yes, it was also known by other names like gastronomia and dipnologia. I don't know Greek still. Whoa, okay. Fascinating. All right, let's put this link to the poet in the show notes. All right, did not expect that part at all. So gastronomy is all from a poem. Next we have gastropod. A gastropodcast. Oh my god, if that doesn't exist, somebody's better make a gastropodcast. Noun from 1826. Any of a large class of mollusks, snails and slugs, usually with a univalve shell or none, and a distinct head bearing sensory organs. Well, I have definitely seen snails that they have sensory organs. They have eyes that stick out on stalks, and then they can suck them in and put them out, I guess. Those are the gastropods, things like snails and slugs. Snails and slugs and geese better scurry. The class name is Gastropoda. And that's all it really says. It doesn't really say why we're using these words, gastro and pod. But gastropod is also an adjective. So is it then related to the stomach? Do they have something unique about their stomach? Should we look up, I guess, etymology of gastropod? Now, the gastropodcast, would it be all about snails and slugs and those types of animals? Or would it be about food, good food, the art and science of good food living? So, this actually makes a whole lot of sense now. The word gastropod comes from the Greek words gaster, which is stomach, and pod, which is foot, a reference to the animal's stomach-foot anatomy, where the large muscular foot is positioned underneath the visceral mass, the stomach, and is used for movement. This naming reflects how the animal's foot is the primary means of locomotion and is located on its underside. So they were like, oh my God, that animal, its foot, the way it moves, it's like it's moving on its stomach. It's basically moving on its stomach. Its stomach is its foot. Oh my God, we're going to call it stomach foot. And then a Greek person came in and said, gastropod sounds a little better. All right, we have one more word for this episode, which is gastropub. Gastropub, noun from 1996. It is a pub, bar, or tavern that offers meals of high quality. Because I guess it's related to gastronomy? High quality food. Oh, it's food, but also drinks. Food and drinks. Stomach, drinks. Food, drinks. All right, that's it. Let's pick a word of the episode. Let's pick a word of the episode. Today we had gastric bypass, gastric gland, gastric juice, gastric ulcer, gastrin, gastritis, gastrocnemius, gastroduodenal, gastroenteritis, gastroenterology, gastroesophageal reflux, gastrointestinal, gastrolith, gastronome, gastronomist, gastronomy, gastropod, and gastropub. Well, I am debating between a couple. I mean, there were obviously some very good words in here. We had a very good time talking about words and learning about words, and I was fascinated by the gastronomy etymology from a poem all about food and how to find food and how to make food, kind of. It's kind of like a cookbook. A cookbook. But, I don't know. I think I just gotta pick gastric juice as the word of the episode. Give me that gastric juice. I'm gonna drink that gastric juice. I'm food in the stomach. I'm drinking the gastric juice. This is wonderful. Wonderfully silly. Okay, let's tell you about a new movie that I watched. And it's not a new movie. It's an old movie. But it was new to me. And to be honest, I don't really remember most of it. It's called Ravenous from 1999. I looked up some pictures, and I definitely remember it, but don't remember a lot of it. Actually, it's about cannibalism, and sort of related to the words that we had today. Kind of interesting. We got Guy Pearce, Robert Carlyle, David Arquette in an interesting role. Jeffrey Jones, from Ferris Bueller. It's these people. What is it? What does it say? I'm not going to read you the whole thing. It is a remote military outpost in the 19th century. That's where this takes place. So the 1800s. The century when a lot of these words from today came into existence. That was the time when they were learning about words and bodies and stuff. Interesting movie, kind of a fun watch, even though I don't really remember most of it. And it's got a 6.9 on IMDb, if that is interesting to you whatsoever. All right, that will be the end of this episode. Now I'm going to create and eat a very fancy food by using art and science, and I shall call it gastronomy. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.